So guys, with Act 2 going live this week, today I wanted to make a video just compiling all the information that we know about Act 2 here into one video. Just getting all the information that we've gotten over the last 2 weeks, like brand new activities, new loot, new artifact perks, returning events, new collabs, and a whole lot more. But before we get into it, as always, if you're going to enjoy this video, if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I would very much appreciate it. And with that being said, let's just jump into the first thing here, which is the brand new activity called the Tomb of Elders. So if you played Destiny 1 and went into the Prison of Elders, the overall theme of this activity is basically the same. You'll be having Varix leading the way there with the Warden Servitor, and you'll be facing off against some bosses that might be familiar. But in terms of how this game mode actually plays out, it's very similar to the Riven's Lair activity that we got back in Season of the Wish. So if you're a fan of that roguelike style activity, it's basically going to be the exact same as that, which is actually a really fun activity if you didn't get to play it yourself. Basically, you'll be thrown in and you'll do a run of the activity, going through into different rooms, doing different encounter challenges based on what enemies are inside of those rooms until you get to a final boss fight. Once you've completed that boss fight in the Tomb of Elders activity, that will be the end of the activity and you'll just get some loot. But if you go into the Contest of Elders, you'll actually just be thrown back into the activity and you can go for more runs until you end up wiping, or just until you reach the limit of the encounters that are available in the contest mode. So yeah, very fun activity, very excited to get my hands on that, and it does seem to be a lot more rewarding compared to what Onslaught Salvation currently is if you're not running some tonics, which is very, very good. Alongside that, let's talk the brand new loot that you'll be getting inside of this new activity. One of which being the returned Grid Skipper Legendary Pulse Rifle from Season of the Splicer. So if you remember this thing, you're going to be very happy to see that it has returned and you can see all the perks on it right now. Nothing too exciting on it, to be honest, but if you're a fan of Void builds, there's some Repulsor Brace destabilizing rounds stuff which you can have fun with there, and there's some pretty decent PvP rolls as well. One thing that I do want to mention though is that with this returning weapon, it does come with the origin trait that all the Splicer weapons get, which is Splicer Surge, where reloading this weapon after dealing damage grants the weapon a stacking reload speed and handling bonus until stowed, which is going to be very handy there inside of PvP. Now moving on from that, we have two brand new weapons coming with Act 2's launch, one of them being Scavenger's Fate, which does kind of resemble a Dust Rock Blues style weapon model there. This is a Void precision frame shotgun, and it does get some pretty good PvP rolls in the form of slide shot closing time. That's the role I'm going to be looking for, but you can see all the perks here on screen, so best of luck in trying to get any role that you're after there. And then finally, for brand new weapons, we have the Noxious Venator. This is a brand new precision frame arc SMG. This thing can get the brand new perk Jolting Feedback, which is actually pretty fun, so I'd highly recommend getting a roll of that. That with attrition orbs could be quite interesting. So yeah, very interested in these new weapons, and if you are too, you can expect to see these inside of the new Tomb of Elders activity. Moving on though, let's talk about the new seasonal artifact here. As you could remember from the last episode that we got, with each new act, we got a brand new row of artifact perks. So for column 1, you have authorized mods melee, where the armor energy cost of all armor mods affecting your melee are significantly discounted. Alongside that, you have emergency flare in column 2, where emergency reinforcements consumes all but one armor charge. Then for column 3, you get the thick of it, where rapid final blows while surrounded will grant you an armor charge, and this is one of the only ones that also grants a boost for using a tonic, where while you are surrounded, your weapons have increased handling and swords gain increased charge rate. And then for column 4, you have curative orbs, where the first time you break a target's shield or break the shield of a guardian using their super, you create an orb of power. This is the other one which grants a boost thanks to tonics, where picking up an orb of power, elemental pickup, or a tangle will grant you a small amount of health. And then finally, inside of column 5, you'll have arc compounding, where arc sources deal increased damage to blinded targets. So very good strong perk in that 5th column. The other 4 columns, not really all that sure, but we'll have to test those out once the act goes live. So if you're a fan of arc builds, you're going to have a lot of fun with that arc compounding perk. Next though, let's go on to talk about the events coming within this act, like Iron Banner and the Dawning, with Iron Banner going live the next week after the act's launch on the 26th of November. Now this event does come with 3 brand new armor sets, one for each class, which you can see on screen now. These look really, really cool. You can go and grab those from the Iron Banner when that comes live. And then you've also got one returning weapon in the form of Archon's Thunder, as well as one brand new weapon being the first ever stasis rocket frame assisted sidearm. And you will be happy to know that this rocket frame sidearm does come with chill clip, so that's probably going to be the one perk that you are definitely going to want to get on this weapon. In terms of other perk combinations that you could put with chill clip, you do have loose change for that easy, whenever you apply an elemental debuff, you'll get increased reload speed. But one thing that I'm definitely looking forward to is getting air trigger for the increased inventory size there for the ammo reserves. But you can take a look at all the perks here. Those are just the ones that I would recommend looking out for, but you can go for whatever you would like. And then for Archon's Thunder, this is returning as a stasis damage type machine gun, this time being a high impact frame. This thing can get some pretty strong PvE related perks. You have like Killing Tally, Onslaught there, which is pretty darn good. 4th time's the charm, not bad. Envious Assassin, also not too terrible there at all. So if you're looking for a high impact frame stasis machine gun, Archon's Thunder is going to be a good one for you to go and grab. And then in terms of the Dawning, which does come out the 10th of November, it will be returning with all of its previously noted weapons, as well as one brand new weapon in the form of Mistral Lift. Now this is a brand new adaptive burst void linear fusion rifle, and can get some really cool perk combinations in the form of Withering Gaze bait and switch, or Clown Cartridge bait and switch, or you can get Precision Instrument on this thing as well as Firing Line, so a whole load of good combinations for perks, and this is definitely one of the weapons I would highly recommend you get from the Dawning this year. As well, the brand new armor sets for this year's event are Celestial, like Space Dragon themed, so they look really, really cool, and I'll throw those up on screen now for you to take a look at those. These will obviously be available from the Eververse store for either Bright Dust or Silver, around 6,000 Bright Dust or 1,500 Silver. Alongside that, moving away from events, let's talk brand new collaborations now. First off, going into the Street Fighter collab, as you'll see on screen, there's a whole load of new ghost shells that you can go and get, as well as a brand new helmet ornament for each class, similar to the Tiger Mask that we got during the 30th anniversary event. This is a universal ornament for all classes, so if you want this, you can have it on every single character, which is amazing. And alongside that, there'll also be brand new emotes and finishes as well, which they did show during the live stream, so I'll throw those up here as well. And then alongside that, there's also a brand new Doki Doki Literature Club collab, where you can get some nice bows and ribbons featured on your armor sets. And then finally, just to wrap up here, let's talk about the stuff going live with the Axe launch in terms of Banshee and the god rolls that he'll actually be selling, and the double dungeon loot that will be available inside of Vesper's host as well. So if you go over to Banshee when the new act goes live, he will be selling 5 different weapons because of the perk waiting RNG bug. This is kind of their way of rewarding players because of that bug was affecting loot. So the weapons that he'll have available are the Rose, the Multi-Mac, the Indebted Kindness, the Compass Rose, Hothead Adept, and the VS Chill Inhibitor. The Rose will come with Fluted Barrel, Accurized Rounds, Slide Shot, Explosive Payload, Smooth Grip, and a Handling Masterwork. The Multi-Mac will come with Polygonal Rifling, Tactical Mag, Attrition Orbs, Kinetic Tremors, and a Reload Masterwork. Indebted Kindness is going to come with Smart Drift Control, Tactical Mag, Loose Change, and Volt Shot with a Velocity Masterwork. Compass Rose is going to come with Corkscrew Rifling, Light Mag, Snapshot Sights, Slide Shot, and a Handling Masterwork. Hothead Adept is going to come with Hard Launch, Impact Casing, Tracking Module, Clown Cartridge, and a Reload Masterwork. And then finally, the Chill Inhibitor is going to come with Countermass, Spike Grenades, Envious Arsenal, Bait and Switch, and a Reload Masterwork. So some very good weapons that I would highly recommend getting from Banshee. These should be free for everyone to go and pick up. But if you want to get the Chill Inhibitor or the Indebted Kindness, you do have to own the respective dungeon that they come from and have at least completed it once. So go into those dungeons, get it completed, and then go to Banshee to pick up these god roll weapons. And then alongside that, finally, there's going to be double drops inside of the Vesper's Host dungeon. So if you're looking for any other weapons inside of that dungeon or any armor pieces that you seem to be lacking, go into there this week and start farming. Now, the double dungeon loot is going to last up until the 3rd of December, so you have a while to go and farm out those, but they haven't given a date for how long these god roll weapons from Banshee will be available, so highly recommend logging in and then just grabbing all these weapons immediately. Yeah, that's all the major updates coming with this act. Obviously, we can expect some other changes in terms of sandbox stuff. There was the mention of roaming supers getting a buff inside of this week's TWID, which I made a video on when that TWID dropped on Thursday. So a whole load of other stuff coming with Act 2, which has me very, very excited. And we should be getting patch notes sometime on Tuesday as well. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. But that's it from me here today. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.